I see my name in shining lights. Yeah, a different city every night. Oh, I swear the world better prepare for when I'm a billionaire.
It's time to get down to business on the weekend's #1 business program. Known as the King of Networking, your host, Shalom Klein, has worked with thousands of entrepreneurs and created countless jobs. So, to success. Let's get down to business.
And indeed, we're all about small business jobs and entrepreneurship and business. We talk a lot about business here. You're on with Get Down to Business, and I'm your host, Shalom Klein. Remember, you can always download podcasts from Get Down to Business on my website at shalomklein.com. And while you are there, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Shalom Klein. It's going to be a jam-packed week of content and information you will not want to miss. So let's jump right in. I'm so excited and thrilled to get started with my first guest on the program, John Azoni. John is a video producer and storytelling coach working specifically with colleges and universities to automate their video storytelling through student testimonial content. I think that this is more important than ever right now in sort of this new age of academia, and a lot of things have changed in the past few years. So nobody better to talk to us about it than John. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Absolutely. John, I know you and your company Unveiled, you've been solving a problem that higher education marketing leaders have been having for quite a while, and filling and telling their stories. Storytelling is a word that I know you share a lot. So tell us a little bit about how you got started in this line of work.
Yeah, I worked for a production company here in the Detroit area for over a decade. Left there to start Unveiled will be 2 years ago on Saturday, and with the intent of really focusing on higher ed and solving the problem that I know a lot of colleges have, which is that one video takes a lot of legwork to produce. There's a lot of cats to herd. To get all the ducks in a row, and at the end of that, you get one video. But knowing that colleges have a need to tell a lot of student or alumni success stories, storytelling is kind of an ongoing effort that needs to be done. Not just something that you do once. So I wanted to create a way to remove the friction from getting lots of videos made. And so we created this subscription model, which kind of automates that process.
Sure. And as my dad would say, it's all widgets. And that means that, a lot of the same things that apply in one industry are relevant in others. And that's why I'm so passionate about, bringing you on and sharing your story. And I hear your passion in your voice, even in just the moment or two that we've been chatting already. But you do things, very different. There's a lot of companies out there. Every university hopefully has a website, but you certainly tell stories, which is unique. And you just alluded to that flat monthly fee, that subscription model, which is unique. So what is something that from the higher ed space, let's start there, that you find that they're not doing enough of in colleges and universities as it relates to their marketing?
Yeah, I think colleges and again, like you said, this really applies to every industry, because I noticed this so much at my previous job at a production company where we worked with a lot of various clients in all kinds of industries, is that I would say, organizations in general just aren't telling actual stories. The storytelling word is a buzzword. And I think people misunderstand what that actually means. And they think that means, put a dump of information on a video to an inspiring sounding song, and they've done storytelling. And that's not true. That's a lot of quote unquote storytelling that goes on are not actually stories at all. They're just dumps of information. Here we are, here's our school, here's what we do, here's why we're great, everything's awesome. And apply to our school. And that's not a story.
So what makes a good story, John? I have to ask, like you said, this is relevant to everybody. What makes a good story, and why is it such a powerful marketing tactic?
Yeah, what makes a good story, I think, is something, let's just say, talking from a student perspective, a student having something other that they've been through that kind of leads to talking about the school. So maybe they're a first generation college student, and their family immigrated from another country, and so that's that's how we get into that, the information about how great the school is that they've ended up in. But the story really is about their journey of, carving a new path for their family. Another case that might be single working mom who wants to be a good example to her kids and really follow her dreams. And she's decided to go back to school. And so she's now gone to such and such school, and she's pursuing her dreams, like kind of in the off hours, after work and that kind of thing. And so like those are stories. Those are stories where you have a hurdle to jump over, or multiple hurdles. And there's an element of transformation where it's like, I started here. I went through, these things, and I ended up here, and this such and such school really helped me on that journey. So really the hero of the story is the student, not the school. And so I think that's really what makes a good story, is really there being a story in the first place, where there's like, a series of connected events. This happened, then this happened, and then this happened, and there's an element of transformation there. But also one where the student is the subject of the story is the hero, and not the organization, the school, the company.
Okay, I'm fired up. I'm chatting with John Azoni, content creator, video producer, working specifically with colleges and universities to automate their video storytelling through student testimonial subscriptions. This company, Unveiled, is helping higher education marketing leaders fill their content. And that's what we're talking about. But again, lots of lessons that are applicable to each and every one of you entrepreneurs and business owners. And I know you're out there listening, and we'll make sure you get in touch with John so you can learn more about his important work. So let's dive a little bit deeper. Consistency. One of the things that makes your company unique, John, is that subscription model, because I know you believe that is the key to success, consistency. Why is that so important for our listeners to know as it relates to content marketing?
Yeah, I mean, you can't just post one quality piece of content and then expect that to go viral, and that's just going to carry you through the year. I mean, I don't think anyone would actually think that that's realistic. Really, content marketing in general is an act of consistency. You have to show up almost daily, every day. Every social channel has its own sort of, optimized number of times to post, what days to put, whatever. But in large part, it's all about consistency, showing up regularly. And with organizations that want to do video, showing up regularly with video is tough, because like I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of legwork that goes into just creating one video. And so that's why I think this subscription model is really important. And it not necessarily like that it has to be a subscription model, but just the idea of creating a system that allows an organization to be consistent and have that work of consistency taken off their plate. So they're not thinking about, they're not thinking about every day, what am I going to post? What am I going to post? How am I going to get another video? It's just there, it's there. We've already taken care of it. And your job is just to distribute it. And so yeah, consistency is so important, because, you're like a mist in the wind, with the algorithm. You post something tomorrow, people have forgotten about you. You got to stay top of mind for people and continue to show up and build a brand presence day by day by day, where people start to catch on and realize what your value is. And that's not something that you can just do once and check the box.
Oh boy, absolutely. This is so important. And I know everybody must be taking good notes, and we'll make sure you get in touch with John Azoni and his team at Unveiled in just a moment. But last question for you before we have to wrap things up over here is, you just alluded something really, really important, using the content you have, because everybody is putting so much work into their marketing. What last bits of homework and advice do you have for folks on how to use the content you have to build that database and build that library that's so important on your social media, website, and so on?
Yeah, chances are, I mean, I look at the world of marketing through video lens, because that's just my world. But chances are you've hired a production company, or you've had an internal video team do work already. And you have video content that you can cut up into multiple pieces of content for distribution online. And what I encourage my clients to consider is the fact that not every post, not every time you show up for your audience has to be some major big thought. It can just be a little snippet. Maybe you record a lecture or something from one of your professors, and you just take a 10-second snippet from that. That's one day of content. It's just repurposing what you got.
That's good advice. John, I want to make sure our listeners can get in touch with you. What's your website, and what's the best way to reach you?
Yeah, I'm at unveiled.tv. That's UNVEILD. Also on LinkedIn, where I post regularly and connect with people.
Fantastic. John Azoni, thank you so much for sharing your passion, your expertise with our listeners. We'll link through our show notes as well, which, as always, are posted on our website, shalomklein.com, or on your favorite podcast app. We've got to squeeze in a very quick break here on the show all about small business jobs and entrepreneurship. But again, we'll be right back. Lots more content and information you don't want to miss. Don't touch that dial.